Hey everyone, so we're skipping round 7 and 8. In round 7, Lasker defeated Chigorin. It was a weird game. Chigorin just blundered at some point for no reason. Couldn't really figure it out. Round 8, Lasker and Pillsbury had a rather uneventful draw. So now, round 9, it's Lasker and Steinitz again. And Lasker's been whooping on Steinitz lately. But anyway, so in this position, White has this pawn on d6, restricting black's development. But on the other hand, it could also get a bit weak. My question to you is black to move here. What move would you play for black? Alright, so Steinitz makes a very good decision here. There are two obvious options. Well, there's one obvious option, sorry. The obvious looking move is knight takes c1, followed by queen takes d6. So black would play an in-between move. Sorry, white would. Knight to e7 check. Bishop takes, pawn takes, rook e8, rook c1, rook takes e7. Black has just won a pawn. However, it turns out that white has a very serious initiative. First, rook e1 is a good move, and notice how far away you are from developing any pieces. If rook takes, queen takes, our pieces are in open lines, we're threatening mate on e8. This position is very difficult for black. Better would be queen f6, but then after rook takes rook, queen takes rook, rook to c7. Black just has a kind of an unpleasant position. We're still up a pawn, but how do we develop this bishop and rook? Steinitz made a very good choice not to be greedy and not to snatch this material, but instead to just complete his development and leave his very nice knight on d3. Restricts the rook from going to e1, the bishop from going to f4, could attack the b pawn in some lines. He just played b6 to develop that bishop to b7. A very good move. And now Lasker replied with knight f4, knight takes, bishop takes. So got his bishop out. But after bishop b7, this bishop's very strong. Black has the two bishops. One's going to go to f6. The other's going to go on b7. And we're just raking the board with these bishops. Bishop g3, bishop f6. And this pawn could also get weak in some lines. Now, white played what I think was a good move. So black's threatening bishop takes b2, and it's very hard to stop. Pause your video and try to figure out what move you would play here for white. So I really like the choice that Lasker made. There are all kinds of options, but many of them run into trouble. So like queen to d2, for example. We're giving up these pawns. We're opening up our king, but maybe our bishop here is enough to defend the king. However, after h5, threatening h4, and queen f5, it's abundantly clear that black has a super strong initiative in this position. Another idea would be something like just knight to d4. After that, though, rook e8, and all of a sudden, what the heck does white do? Black is actually immediately threatening bishop a6, trapping the rook, because if the rook moved to e1, so let's say we make a random move. Rook e1, we go rook takes rook, and bishop takes d4. So, what the heck does white do? Rook c1 can't be played because of bishop a6. And it's just a very unpleasant position for white. He did not want to sit there and just defend his b2 pawn. He played rook to c1. And after bishop takes b2, rook to c7. And his idea is give up the pawn, but get some active pieces. Bishop c6 was played in the game. Bishop takes f3 is now, we can meet it with queen takes f3. Important distinction. As opposed to lines when our queen was on d2. Now after bishop c6, knight to d4 was played. Bishop takes d4 because white was threatening knight takes c6. Queen c2. Now, I'm not saying all these moves that black plays are the best. Black is up a pawn, clearly, but it's bishops of opposite color. Bishops of opposite color allow for all kinds of tricky drawing ideas, all kinds of attacking ideas in the middle game. And watch how this goes. h4 was played. Rook e8. f3. Just kind of, I'm not sure why f3 exactly. Yeah, I guess he was worried about... Actually, I don't know. I don't know why he went f3 exactly. h5, king g2. queen a4. And he didn't want to trade queens here, even though usually you think in bishops are opposite, trading queens is a good idea. But he just went queen to c3. I think trading queens, he would have had decent chances to draw. But this move works out too. f6. And again, it's very hard for white because this rook is so active, right in the heart of black's position. Although if I recall correctly, black did have some better ways to go about trying to win this. Rook f2, queen b4. Yeah, I remember at this point they just repeat the position. Which is a little much. I mean, black is up a pawn, probably has some chance to kind of slowly unwind and maybe consolidate. But the point was two things. Number one, Steinitz was correct not to be greedy and take that material in the beginning of the game. And then Lasker did the same thing. Didn't desperately try to hold on to his b pawn. Instead, he focused on piece activity. Both players knew that material is not the be-all, end-all in this position, and they both focused on their active pieces instead of trying to take material or hold on to material. And seeing these type of examples are very useful. Getting used to the fact that this is how strong players play is very important. So thanks all for watching. This game was a draw, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.